Good shot.
That's so wonderful.
Nice shot.
Good shot. Oh, it's a me. Uh-oh.
Oh, B.
Oh, no. Mario Golf. Should have been called Mario Golf. You're gonna love it.
Hello everybody and welcome to my new Let's Play of Mario Golf. And we're gonna go ahead and get started right from the get-go, I think. Well, not really. But well, there's a few things I do want to mention right off the bat is I actually wanted to hold off on doing this Let's Play for a really long time, but I just love this game too much to say, you know, to hold back on it. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And it's the game that I'm really feeling like doing at the moment, so, you know, I figured why not. And, you know, there's obviously the things, you know, stuffs, you know, usual typical stuff to see there. Of course, we don't have most of these characters unlocked. I managed to actually, managed to make a new file without actually having to delete my old one, which is a very good thing. Because I have like at least 7 or 8 years worth of stuff on it, probably. Well, not that much actually, since it first came out on Virtual Console. This is pretty much Virtual Console is the only way that you can actually have that possibility without, you know, getting another expansion pack or something like that, you know. But still, so you have I have a few choices here between going to get character and tournament, but we're going to start with get character because it'd be pretty seriously limiting just to start off with 4 characters when we can have 5, you know. So, and also if you press the C buttons or the C stick, whatever controller you might be using, you'll be able to change the color of the suit, you know, the suit schemes, if you will, the outfit schemes and the color schemes. Whatever, and so yeah, and hopefully I'll get to actually selecting the character quite shortly. Yeah, alright, and first course, of course. Alright, so the basic, well, I had a lot more to say when I did this live, but I was so stupid that I actually forgot to. I deleted the first. I deleted the original commentary by accident, and I replaced it with the second episode, and I kind of felt dumb for that. So, so yeah, this first episode would be only post commentary, and then after that it should be live. So, yeah. And wow, that was a surprisingly good shot for Luigi.
Nice on.
Luigi is definitely far from a very good character at all. His AI is very terrible. You can, I mean, like, you might only have to practice like once or twice, like 1 or 2 rounds, and you could probably beat Luigi. Chances are. That's pretty much how easy he is. I mean, he won't make a lot of putts. He'll miss quite a few putts. And he won't hit superbly good shots or anything like that. So, I mean, he's not very daunting or challenging or fearsome by any means. So, yeah. In fact, I almost made that right there, and I would have just taken the hole from him. Well, I would have taken the lead from... Well, yeah, I would have taken his possible lead from him, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, alright. Yeah. Kind of, I like Luigi's... I like the way they did the program... I like the way they did Luigi's voice in this game. I wouldn't say it's the best, but, I mean, it's... you know, it suits who he is, you know. Very... average and all that stuff, I guess you'd say, you know. So, let's see, what else was there? Oh yeah, I could talk. Well, no, I was gonna say I could talk about the music, but I actually talk about that in a later episode, so I'm not gonna worry about that.
Nice song.
Fuck, I can't think of anything to talk about. And somehow I missed that putt. I don't know how I missed that. I actually moved it just slightly to the left, and it apparently was straight as a ruler, as I had previously thought. But I guess I can talk about the general basis of how the skins match works, which is pretty much what that is. I mean, it's not really okay. It's not a skins match, but the match play in this game is it works by tokens, I guess. And if you win a hole, you gain like medals or tokens, whatever you want to call those. Yeah, I think they're tokens. Anyway, you gain one for every hole you win, and then every time you tie, it'll seem like it'll do nothing, but you can it'll actually but actually if you if you tie on 2 holes or whatever like that, then it'll actually take one. It'll take away from what you actually need, I guess you want to say, from the requirement, because it starts off at 10, like right there. I think the first one actually, yeah, the first draw actually takes away the 10th one, and then 2 draws will take down 9, and then 8, and then 7, and 6, and 5. It's sort of complicated, but when you like look at it, I mean, it's complicated to explain, but once you look at it and kind of see how it works and everything like that, it's pretty simple to understand. But I think it's a pretty smart method. I think it's pretty smart for explaining how somebody wins or loses a match. You know, it's pretty fairly unique, I would say. Because I haven't seen anything like that. I always see 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, and 5 up, you know. Like, yeah. Medals. Okay, yeah, they call them medals. I'm dumb. Okay. I mean, it's the same thing, but I mean, it's, you know, I'm just being a little bit nitpicky, I guess. I'm nitpicking a little bit. So anytime you have a... kind of jumping from something very basic to something somewhat advanced-ish, but... anytime you have a tailwind, you should always take advantage of it by having the red cursor on the bottom right, by having that point down to where the ball will actually lift up. I mean, that's pretty much that's your point of impact, basically. And if you have it on the bottom, you'll actually get the ball a little bit. You'll get the ball up higher that way, and the wind will carry it further. Like you can see, Luigi's ball kind of curved upward a little bit because of that wind, and then. And where that might have been like 215 or yeah, maybe 215, 210 or something like that. It went a few more yards or whatever. So, and the higher loft you have, the higher the ball will go, obviously, and the wind will carry the ball much further that way. So, something that's good to know. And I'm actually kind of surprised that that even made it up to the green, really. Because it seemed like there was too much hill there, but there wasn't. So, lucky him, like I said. And that wasn't such a good shot.
Nice
Could have
arm.
been better, definitely. And Luigi... Yeah, see, again, I don't think I'll ever mention this enough, but Luigi doesn't make very many putts at all. And that's pretty much what kills him. I mean, that's what pretty much will kill him immediately. I mean, what makes this match a super cakewalk. And once again, tailwind. Even if it's raining, especially considering how much wind there is and everything like that, it's very good to have. See, look at that. I hit that ball 263 yards. And that wasn't even a full driver. So, I mean, that's a pretty good indication right there of how far the ball will go if you take advantage of that tailwind. And that's what tailwind is where the wind is going from behind you to the front. You know, it's coming from behind you. And then the headwind would be coming from in front of you, where that would be you know, where it would be kind of somewhat the opposite. Like you don't want the ball to be in the air and all that stuff. So, but you don't want to just completely knock it down either, because then it won't go that far. It just simply won't go that far. Probably in clear weather, I mean, it'll roll quite a bit, but in the rain like this or something like that, then it's definitely best to avoid even using, just to hit it normally, pretty much. And that was, he almost made that. That would have kind of sucked. But a pretty straightforward putt with a little bit of extra power because of the rain. The rain will slow the ball down on pretty much any kind of lie, any kind of fairway or rough or terrain, I guess you want to say. So when you have those putts in the rain and everything like that, it's always good to put a little extra power into them. But unless if it's within 10 feet, you can pretty much if it's within 10 feet, you can actually pretty much hit it as it is, and it won't actually, you won't come up short most of the time. But if you come up a little bit short on those putts, then yeah, you'll probably come up short. Come up a little bit shorter in the rain, so. Pretty much the longer the putt is, the more distance you need to adjust. Basically, I mean, that seems pretty commonsensical. I mean, that's pretty much common sense, but I mean, you know, always good to know. And birdie, boom. Baby Mario's happy. Yay, he's happy. And yeah, that was not a very good putt by Luigi right there. Though surprisingly, it went surprisingly far because that hill actually should have mostly canceled that out, which it actually pretty much did, but still. I mean, I guess it's the fact that it went downhill is what kind of helped it in the beginning, but oh well. And 7th hole, and I already lost all my power shots. And you start off with 6 too, so I mean that's yeah, so that was pretty bad on my part, but because Luigi is such an easy opponent, you know, I pretty much had nothing to worry about here. So, yeah. Oh, and I guess I'll talk about the episode links too, because that is gonna be something to mention. Is that these episodes are gonna actually be kind of longish. They're generally gonna be anywhere from I would say probably about 15 minutes to 35. That's a huge margin, but it entirely depends on the match. I think the longest match I have is only like 30. It was like 32 or something like that. But that's what happens when you have really close matches and stuff like this. But And because I started off with the intro and everything like that, that's the only reason why this is gonna be 24 minutes. Because I mean, it's a pretty short. This is gonna be a pretty short match overall, because Luigi is like I said, a major cakewalk. But where it comes to some of the later matches and stuff like that, the matches will get pretty long. Which but when it gets past the 30-minute mark, I'll break those in two. But if it's anything less than that, I'm not really gonna worry about breaking episodes into 2 parts, because I feel like it's a little bit easier to keep it as one video as opposed to breaking it into 2. In fact, actually, I might have to keep the. I might actually have to keep. Well, no, I can actually break the. Never mind. I can actually break. I can break it into 2 parts, because something else to mention is that I also realized that the format, the kind of file that I was recording it as was not remotely compatible with Windows Movie Maker, so I'm actually having to convert it, and then Windows Movie Maker kind of sort of converts it anyway, kind of messes with the quality a little bit, so the quality of these videos aren't going to be as good for a while. For actually most of the, well, I wouldn't say most of the game, but quite a bit of the game, unfortunately. But I don't think it affects. I don't think the quality is affected enough to really make a big difference. But everything will be a little sluggish-ish. I don't know. Like the ball flight and all that stuff. It's gonna seem a little bit sluggish. The game's gonna seem a little bit sluggish. But that was mostly my fault for having totally forgot that, actually. So yeah. I wish, though, I mean, that Windows Movie Maker wasn't such a pain with being compatible with certain file names, with certain files, certain kinds of files and stuff like that. But of course, it's like anything that's not WMV is automatically like banned from the history of, is like automatically banned, it seems like, or something like that.
Nice on.
Even though, and it's funny because Windows Movie Maker is supposed to have, like, download codecs automatically and stuff like that, like, or you're supposed to be able to give it the option, but it doesn't give me that option, so that really sucks. Makes video editing and converting and all that stuff way more painful and tedious. And here's a good example of rain and headwind. I mean, it's not really so much headwind as it is just left to right wind, but there is a little bit there's enough to actually put the ball down a lot. And you see why, and you see that Luigi actually rather foolishly knocked the kind of put a top, had the ball sort of topping in a sense. And that actually does not, like I said, it doesn't help because the ball's not going to roll as far, and that's kind of the intention with the headwind, is so you can get as much distance as you can without the ball being carried by the wind. But when it's raining, also, there's absolutely no point. That's actually exactly what I'm explaining right here. Is that you kind of, if anything, you might want maybe a little bit. You may want to put a little bit of a top spin to it, but it's not going to do very much. It's not going to make a big difference as if you just hit it normally. And I know I'm explaining a lot of like complex things already so early into the project, but I actually wanted to do a tutorial series on this game prior to actually starting the project, but I realized very quickly that I'm pretty terrible with tutorials and stuff like that, and being organized and everything like that. So I was like, oh, fuck it. There's no point, and I don't know why he actually moved his line over when the green is completely flat. If not a little bit uphill, as it's actually indicated, but but it didn't change from left to right. It was flat. I mean, it wasn't. You weren't gonna get a straighter putt than that. And once again, well, yeah, you could possibly use it, but you could possibly use headwind, or yeah, use the have the impact. Could have, you know, yeah, you could put topspin on it, but see what Luigi did there was incredibly stupid. That's like, that's just no, you don't do that. You don't, you know, try to lift the ball up at 20 miles an hour of headwind, because actually the ball can go backwards if you have enough loft. Like if I used, like if I had used, if I try to get the ball up, you know, really high, with, you know, the club that I had or whatever like that, I could have actually made the ball go backwards. Or it would have just stopped dead.
Nice on.
Would have just stopped on a dime or whatever, you know. Would have been like no roll whatsoever. Yeah, alright. And once again, a flat. Well, not a flat, but a straight putt. And yeah, you see, we tied there, and it just takes it. It took it away immediately. So once again, taking advantage of the wind here. Nothing too special at this point, since we've already seen it like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, and that was a really terrible shot by Luigi there. That was very poorly done. Now, if he actually would have, you know, moved the red cursor down, he probably would have had a better chance at actually getting it on the green. And I don't know what I'm doing right there. That was a very bad decision on my part. I think even without moving the red marker, I probably would have done absolutely nothing. It would have still gone over the green. Yeah, this is pretty much where Luigi just goes, you know. He just, I don't know. This is pretty much where he melts down at this point. Just missing, just losing shots left and right, pretty much. And if I actually didn't move that, if I didn't actually move my aim right there, I would have actually made that.
Bogey.
Mamma mia! And that's, I think this is going to be to end the match. Yeah, it is. I know it is. There we go. Win, win, win. Experience points equals lol. You basically get 48 course points, and yeah, you actually have points to course points to unlock courses. And Gig'em got him. We got you, Luigi. Yeah. Take that, motherfucker. Anyway, that's gonna end it for this. That's pretty much gonna end it for this episode. And in the next episode, we'll be playing as Luigi and starting off on the next match against whoever it might be. So, so I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.